What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about the others chart, getting a kind of pulse check on the overall altcoin markets as a whole, determining, is this the low? Do we have lower to go? If so, how much lower? All that stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, okay? It is the third day of November, and we are seeing a little bit of a break now in what has been a very tight range since the 10th of October, okay? Here we are almost a month later dealing with the aftermath. It's crazy. This feels like it was just yesterday, man. But, man, we're dealing with that aftermath still. It's looking like we're breaking out of this range. Now, is this a break? Is this the progression of a move? Did we break out of this, really start a downtrend here, and we're consolidating, moving sideways? Are we just breaking out to another phase down in this downtrend? Will we consolidate again and then continue to move lower? You know, thinking further out. Is this the beginning of a downward sloping movement? Or is this just a breakout of this range and maybe potentially even a fake out? Do we come back up and eat this back, suggesting a massive reversal here? You know, I want to see. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there. Okay. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, the 1 hour RSI. It's bouncing at the same areas it bounced from before, but we don't have really any bullish divergence. The only bullish thing I can go off of here is that you got into the oversold zone and out of it very immediately. So a rejection like that is kind of nice to see off the oversold zone there. You do have lower lows and lower highs. I didn't draw that line the best, but you can see what I'm going for, right? Lower lows and lower highs. I would expect that we return to the top side of this channel. At least something that's a little bit higher, if not going up to the 50. With that being said, too, you're in a downward sloping range. Typically, those end once you're in the oversold zone like this. I would think that we do break out. We probably do see some recovery between the end of today, which we have about 7 hours left in this day, and maybe even going into tomorrow. So that's kind of nice to see. That implies then that we're probably going to move up. Doesn't mean that this is the low. We could move up and then still move back down, but we're probably going to move back up going into the end of the day, which means the day will have a bit of a wick to the downside and really promotes this idea of a fake out, doesn't it? Because if we're breaking out, like that's a breakout candle there, man. We've got volume to back it up across various different cryptos, but if we come back up, if the market comes back up by the end of the day and we're not breaking out, we're actually closing above this level here, that could have serious implications for a reversal. Absolutely it could. 4 hour time frame here, looking at this, the MACD is building lower lows on its oscillator, but we do have higher lows in the histogram here. Oh, so slightly higher lows. Maybe not for long. We'll see. You know, it depends on how this 4 hour closes and the next one closes as well. But if we can close here or higher on this candle, if we can get a little bit of movement upwards on the next one, we could validate bullish divergence on the MACD. We've got bullish divergence on the stochastics here, and we also have bullish divergence on the RSI. So there is technically at the moment bullish divergence on all three indicators on the 4 hour time frame. It just depends on how we close this 4 hour period. And I think it's important to mention right now, wait for the end of the day. If you're bearish, if you think that this is a breakout of this range that we're going to go lower, you might be right. And if you want to sell your cryptos based on that, you want to make plays based off that, you want to go short, whatever, you might be right. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But I would wait to the end of the day. 7 hours is a lot of time, right? You're bearish only because of how the day looks. What if the day comes back up and there's a big wick underneath it, you know? What if the day closes like a day like this, you know? Like, just don't jump the gun. That's all I'm trying to say. Imagine here, right? You're selling off, you have this consolidation phase, you broke out, you moved sideways for a few weeks, and then here you moved lower. You actually did break out of this range. You thought, oh my God, that's the end of the bull market. And then boom, what happened afterwards, right? Same kind of thought here, except just on larger kind of time frames, right? Where this range here is this range here. We're breaking out of it. Moved sideways for about 2 or 3 weeks, moved sideways for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then boom, we break down. Is this an area to sell? Is it an area to panic sell? I don't really think so. Could we move lower? Yes. But at the moment, I'm really considering heavily that this could be some kind of a fake out. Looking at the 4 hour time frame again, bullish divergence across all indicators. If we do bounce here, that'd be great. Daily time frame, looking at this now, the RSI is in a bit of trouble. We have lower lows and lower highs, just downtrends across all time frames, man. It's crazy. We are at a place that we like to bounce, but we could go lower, of course. It's hard to say. I'm not really getting anything off the daily RSI. If I'm just speaking blunt, I would say it looks like we want to go lower. But again, let's wait and see how the day closes before we make that judgment. The MACD, it's bearish overall. Nothing really to go off of with that either. And the stochastics are actually at a point to bounce. They could be suggestive that we go a little bit lower, but we're actually signaling that we're very near a place that we'd like to bounce. So even if we do actually break out of this, even if this isn't a fake out, we do go a little bit lower, I don't think it would be too extreme. Let's actually look and imagine. Let's take the perspective. I'd like to take both perspectives here of, is this the low or is it not the low? Let's take both perspectives. If it's not the low, where might we go? Well, we take this low here to a high. The expectation therein would be that we go to about $221 billion to $209 billion in market cap valuation for the altcoin markets. That'd be about a 6% to an 11% drop across the board. So if this isn't the low, from the current price, current valuation, the average altcoin will likely drop another 6 to 11%. But again, likely we would find support in this area, kind of at an area that we found support at before. So cool. Could we go lower? Sure, but this is what I would forecast based off of what we're seeing here, because again, we're pretty oversold on our 4-hour time frames and stuff like that, and I can't imagine that we would get too much more oversold here with these indicators. But just because I can't imagine that doesn't mean it can't happen. I would just think if we go lower, a 6 to 11% drop is probably what would come. Okay, that doesn't mean we will drop lower. Again, my stance at the moment is that we're in the midst of a fake out, but we have to wait and see how the day closes. If we close today here, really below like this level here of 242 billion, then yeah, it's the real deal. If we close back above 242 billion, it's a fake out, and that has some very serious bullish implications. Let's imply that this is a fake out. Let's talk about it being a fake out and what that would mean for the upside. Okay, from a high to a low, if this were the low, the expectation then would be that immediately we move up to the 382, might consolidate a little bit, and then continue to rally. Maybe you immediately run up to the golden ratio, but to that effect, from the current price, that would be, that would be an overall growth in the markets of something on the lines of about a 12.5 to 15% growth. So a little bit more to go to the upside than we would to the downside if we were to recover from here. And then, of course, not to mention, inevitably, we go to the golden ratio and beyond. Overall, I'm not quite convinced yet that this is the low, but it's possible. It's very possible. Look at that. From a low here to a high there, we literally tipped the golden ratio. We tipped it perfectly. I mean, I don't know, man. That kind of convinces me right there. Maybe I'm convinced now. That's it. I think we did find the low. I'm saying that's all I needed to see. Enough said. What about this one? And then it changes my opinion again. Back to it. We're going lower, guys. Not really anything to go off of there. I mean, we're in between the 382 and the 236, but not really anything to go off of. I think this one's more significant right now, just because it's the relevant low to high. That could be it. And again, if it's not the low, we go a little bit lower. We probably find support in this golden ratio zone, and then we're ready to move up higher. I do expect that the average altcoin will move higher going into the end of the year. I am expecting that the others chart here will be breaking out of this zone overall, and therefore this zone as well. We'll be breaking out of this consolidation phase we've had since the last bull market, and I think we'll really start to see altcoins come to life going into the end of this year of 2025. My expectation then would be that the average altcoin sees something on the lines of a 150% to 250% move by the end of the year, if not more. If not more, that's kind of the minimum. We could see something higher. We could see the others total market cap hitting $1 trillion or more, and in which case then the average altcoin might expect something more accustomed to about a 4.5 to a 5x. That's very possible as well. But overall, we're just waiting to find a low. If we go lower, insignificant amounts lower, we have enough data to suggest that. I think we're very near the low, if not at it right now. I'm confident enough. I'm going to call for the low to be in here, and in which case we should, keyword should, be recovering for the rest of the week and going into the rest of this month at a very bullish pace, but we'll see. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The weekly MACD is at an area to bounce. The stochastics being at the 50 are also at an area to bounce if the week comes back up. And then the RSI, the week would have to close green if we want it to look like it's bouncing off the 40. I think it'd be nice if the week closed green, but I'm not holding my breath over that. I don't think this week needs to close green, but if we do end up being if this is a fake out and we end up being so bullish on this reversal that it is a green week by the end of the week, I think that would look really, really good. And that would completely validate what we're saying here, that this month is going to be spectacular. But we'll see. Time will tell. It is important, and again, I want to close the video off with this, not because I think this is going to happen, but because we should be aware of it. If I'm thinking to the bullish effect, we should very well be aware of the bearish effect as well. It is possible that we're breaking out of the zone. And if we are breaking out of the zone, I think it's important to consider lower targets, right? We'd probably find support around $200 billion. But again, from the current price, that is, that could promote even like a 16% drop, 15% drop. I'm thinking more 6 to 11% if we drop more, 6 to 11, but anything can happen. I got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.